Welcome to Maths for All. I'm Aisling Flynn. This is Natural Numbers 2.2. We're looking at division. Division literally means that we are dividing. Dividing means to break something up into equal parts. Take this rectangle. It has 15 equally sized blocks. We will begin by dividing it into 3 equal parts. Can you see that there are 3 equal rows of 5 blocks each? The diagram shows 15 divided by 3 equals 5. If you divide 15 into 3 equal groups, the size of those groups is each 5. We use the division symbol. What about dividing 15 into 5 equal groups? This time we go vertically. Can you see when you divide 15 into 5 equal groups, the answer is 3. The size of those groups is each 3. Recall that 5 multiplied by 3 was 15, and also 3 multiplied by 5 was 15. And what we've just done, 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So on the left, we have multiplication, where you add groups of equal number and get a larger total. On the right is when you take the larger amount and divide it into equal groups. It's division. And can you see that really they are the reverse of each other, going forwards and backwards? Again, here is our multiplication table. We can use it for division also, and it's really good to get a good grounding in these numbers. So let's look, how would you use it for division? You would start in the center with a total. So 42 divided by 6, the answer is 7. So when you take 42 divided into 6 equal groups, the answer would be 7. You'd have size 7 for each of those groups. What about division of larger numbers? Recall how the decimal system worked for multiplication. We take a reverse approach for division. We look to the largest digit first. For example, maybe the hundreds, and we find out how many groups of those we can make. For our examples, I'm using the same numbers that we used in the multiplication video to show the reverse nature of multiplication and division. Here's our example. Divide 738 by 3. So 738 divided by 3. Or I could say 3 into 738. I learned to write division like this, but I have seen it many different ways. Essentially, they're all the same method. My answer is going to appear here at the top. Okay, we're going to begin with the largest digit, that's 7, which represents 7 hundredths. So I need to make 3 equal groups from 7 hundredths. Well, I could have 3 groups of 2. That makes 600, and I'd have some extra left over. Okay, so I say to myself, 3 goes into 7, well, twice. So I can make 3 equal groups of 2, but I would have 1 left over. So I carry that 1 extra 100 to the tens. Remember, 100 becomes 10 tens. So now I have 13 tens here. Okay? So 3 into 7 goes twice, but there's 1 extra left over. So the reverse of multiplication, we're going from left to right. Now repeat that process going to the right. Well, 3 goes into 13. Well, I can make 3 groups of 4 make 12. So 3 4s are 12. But again, there'll be one left over. So 3 into 13 goes 4 times, but there's an extra one. So that was an extra 10, becoming 10 units, giving a total of 18 units here. So, and repeating once more, 3 into 18 will give me 6. Okay, so 3 into 7 twice and 1 extra. 3 into 13 4 times and 1 left over. 3 into 18 goes 6 times. So we can finish by saying 738 divided by 3 equals 246. How do we divide by larger numbers? What about if we're dividing by more than one digit? For example, divide 2,142 by 14. Again, we'll start by looking at the largest digit that's on the left-hand side. How many 14s divide in there? We then subtract the amount that will go fully in, and we will have a remainder maybe. Remainder means what is left over. And then you include the next digit to the right, and then we repeat. So the process can be seen in the next video. 2,142 divided by 14. So we're going to set it out similar to the previous one. 14 into 2,142. Okay, so this time we have a larger number. The numbers don't come quite so easily to us. Okay, we may need some space for rough work. So rough work. All right, rough work is always good in maths. So this time I have to consider the 2 digits 14. And we would start from the left. Well, 14 into 2. Well, 2 is just not big enough. Okay, so sometimes people like to write a 0. It's not necessary, so I'll put it lightly there. So I'll continue and consider the next 2 digits together. I'll say 14 goes into 21. How many times? Okay, now if I'm not sure, I can go and check. So it definitely goes in once, maybe twice. I can do some rough work. 14 times 2 is 28, so it doesn't go in twice. It's too big. So it goes in once, right? And what I do now is I remove that 14 that has gone in and subtract here at this point. Okay, so 1 minus 4 doesn't go. So I'm going to take from here, that 2 reduces to 1, and this becomes 11. And 11 minus 4 becomes 7. Okay, and 1 minus 1 is nothing. All right, so just like we did in the simpler example, we continue by moving to the right. So this is 700s. I'm going to consider 700s with the 4 10s next. We're going to see how many 14s go in and what is left over. So 14 into 74. Right, so some thinking. You can use a calculator, of course, to help. Well, 2 14s is 28, which means that 4 14s is 56. I'm going to guess at the closest 14 number there to be 5 times. Let's check it out. 5 4s is 20, 5 1s is 5, and 70. So that's close enough. I won't get any more 14s. Okay, so 70, and again I'm going to remove this from the pile and we'll see what's left over. 74 minus 70, well, that's just 4, isn't it? Okay, and my 5, 14 went into that 74 5 times. I place it up on top of the answer bar. Okay, moving to the right again, we bring down our 2. Now, how many times does 14 go into 42? Pretty sure it's 3, but if I want to check it out, I'll do quick multiply. 3 4s are 2, 3 ones are 3 and 1 is 4. So yes, okay. So 3 times again. Don't forget to keep track of your answers up at the top. And I'm left with nothing. So it has divided in perfectly. All right. So the answer to that multiply or divide is 153. So let's try a big one. Divide 313,158 by 123. It's the same, just longer. Okay, so this is a big one. We have to divide 123 into 313,158. Okay, so just like before, it's the same, just much longer. Okay, we have 123 to consider. We look at the first digit. 123 into 3. No, it's too small. 123 into 31. Again, too small. 123 into 313. Okay, yes, that will go. And I suspect it will only go twice. Okay, because 3 times will give me about 360. So use your powers of estimation, okay, to help you out. So 123 twice is 2 3s are 6, 2 4s, 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2. And we use this method of subtracting, right? We're taking away things. We've divided up, we put it to the side and then see what's left. Don't forget to keep a track of what number you've used or was your answer for the division, and it was 2. I place it here over the last digit that I've used. Now, 3 minus 6, we'll have to borrow for that one. Okay, look back at your subtraction if you need to. 13 minus 6 is 7. 0 minus 4, again, we'll need to borrow. And 10 minus 4 is 6. And 2 minus 2 is nothing. Okay, so there we go. Moving to the right, we'll now include one more digit. We'll bring down that 1. So 123 into 671. So again, I think 6 times will be too big. I'm going to see, will 5s work? Okay. 5 3s are 15, 5 10s and 1 is 11. 5 1s are 5 and 1 is 6. Yeah, so that's pretty close. 615. And subtract. 1 take 5 can't do. We'll borrow. 11 take 5 is 6. 6 takes 1 is 5. And 6 minus 6 is 0. Okay. Now, I used 5 times 123 that time, so keep a track of it. Don't forget. Now, moving to the right, the next digit is 5. So 5, we already have 5 times here. That's too big, so I'm guessing 4 times. 4 3s are 12, 2 and carry a 1. 4 2s are 8 and 1 is 9. 4 1s are 4. So 492, and we'll subtract this. 5 take 2 is 3. 6 take 9, we must borrow. 16 take 9 is 7. Okay, and 4 take 4 is nothing. Okay, almost there. We did 4 times there, so keep a track of it, don't forget. And finally, the last digit to include is this 8. Okay, so 738, there's 5 times. So I'm going to try 6 times. Okay, 123 times 6. 6 3s are 18. 6 2s are 12 and 1 is 13. 6 1s are 7 and 1 is 7. Yes, so there we have it. We use 6 times there. So, and we've divided 123 in fully. The answer to the division is 2,546. So now a word problem. Here's our example. There are 24 students in a science class. The teacher must divide them into groups to carry out experiments. How many groups will there be if A. There are 4 students in each group? So there you would do 24 divided by 4 and you would get 6 groups. What if there were 3 students in each group? Well, you do 24 divided by 3 and that gives you 8 groups. Division can be written in a few different ways. So we've seen the use of the division sign in this video, 24 divided by 6. It can also be used in the fraction method. 24 over 6 means 24 divided by 6. And we've seen that it can be written using this kind of hat or bar that we've been using in practice. That's 395 divided by 9. So they all mean division. So now it's time for you to do it. You've got a quiz in forms called division, and you've got a written exercise also to do. Here's your glossary for this episode. Thanks for listening.